Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Prof Sales and
Corin.
coming to you with another show. It is show time, as Henry is saying in the chat.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I know. I love the countdown, Henry. It's like he knows exactly what time we're going to hit the go live button. It's really weird.
Is that a microphone in my lap, or am I just happy to see everyone?
Oh, yeah. I guess we got the mic in the shot here. It's tough because when you got to have two people in the shot, you've got to have the camera back far enough that you can see each other.
Well, we could just have one person in the shot.
Just her. Let us know if the sound is okay, guys. If you guys can hear us okay. I have my little heater going, and if that causes an issue, then
I'm having a flash.
you're not having a flash.
Maybe.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you? But yeah, so it is Monday, December 19th, 2016. We've got, less than 2 weeks left in this year.
Less than like a week left until Christmas.
I know. How did that happen so quickly?
I don't even know.
Oh man, it is Christmas time. It's the end of the year. I gotta say though, guys, I'll be glad when the holidays are over. We can skip the ad. I think that's the issue. I'll be glad when the holidays are over because, man, I don't know about where you guys live, but my gosh, the traffic here in Charlotte. Oh, I mean, I know it's worse in bigger cities, but Charlotte's a decent sized city now, and it is just brutal.
It is what it is.
You don't mind it?
I don't mind it.
That's because you're usually not driving.
Yeah, I'm passengering.
I know, it's worse. It's bad because if I drive, I don't like it because I don't like being stressed out. And if she drives, I don't like it because she stresses me out. Even though she's not doing anything wrong, I just get stressed out. So it's one of my many charming qualities.
Yes, that's exactly what I would have said.
A charming quality. So, but anyway, lots to talk about today. We got a show topic about evolution of a reseller. So we'll talk a little bit about that today, and that kind of ties in with our topic. Shouting out a couple people already see in the room, Henry and Renee.
I think Henry lives in the room.
Henry lives in the room. Wicked Picker is here. What's up? Stone Mason, Mrs. ABB, Lauren, Abraham, Hussein, and I think I got everybody.
Did you say hi to Lauren?
Yes, Lauren as well. Yep, I did. So Midwest is in the house. What's up? What's up?
Hi, everybody. Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday, right? It's Monday, fun day. I don't have to. Oh, that's Sunday.
Yeah.
Anybody remember that Bangle song back in
just another manic Monday.
That was pretty good. But anyway, so we will be talking about a couple things that happened today. So we have, I guess we should get right to that. We have a video that'll be coming out. We shot it today. I'm almost embarrassed to say that
Oh, just fess up. Tell everybody what you did today. What you got up extra early, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to do.
I went to the bins.
Wah, wah.
Yes, I went to the weigh and pay. I went to the horrible place that is the outlet store.
It's not a horrible place, and that just proves why you should never say never.
Yes. So we found out that the weigh and pay here in Charlotte recently, just a few months ago, changed. And they changed to a whole new location. And in the interest of, always keeping my options open, Car and I started talking about it. I said, maybe we should check it out. So we got up and we went and we shot some video of it. We bought a bunch of stuff.
Like 40 pounds of stuff.
Yeah, well, it was a little less than that, but yeah, I guess it was right at 40.
It was like point something less than that.
As Prof Math.
Prof Math.
So we did buy a bunch of items, and I don't want to spoil the items we got and so on, but I'm definitely going to cover that. We covered like some of the trip. We covered what we got, what we spent, what we hope to make. It turned into kind of a haul video, which you guys know I'm not a big fan of. But there was no other way really to do it than to make it somewhat of a haul video.
A little show and tell every now and then won't kill you. Am
might.
I right, people?
It might.
Not
it might
gonna
kill
kill
me.
him. Not gonna kill you.
But we did have a good experience. We then went to another Goodwill right after that and picked up another 25 pair of jeans, which was great. We haven't been to that store in a while. And that particular store has never really been that great for us, but today it was really good. So who knew?
Mm-hmm.
And it was not far from the bins, so it was actually convenient to go ahead and go there. And then we came back home because the time just kind of slipped away from us. The bins is about 30 minutes or so, maybe a little further than that from where we live. So it's not exactly like you can just go there every day. I mean, you're going to spend an hour driving.
Oh, it's too bad we couldn't go there every day.
Every day.
Hank said you were throwing people out the way to get to the jeans.
She was. She actually was one of those people who, when they bring out the bins and they put the little cones on it and say, "No, don't shop it. Don't shop it. Everybody shop it," which I think is hilarious. Like they're trying to build excitement or something. I don't know what their thought process is there. They don't want anybody to get ahead of anybody else. And there's like maybe, 15, 20 people.
Well, when
maybe.
it started, and then by the time it was over, it was just scheming with people.
Yeah, shopping the newly brought out tables. And Karin did. Like she was in there throwing some people around. I had her back though. One guy was trying to get up in the business a little, so
I got in the fray.
I threw an elbow, and he got the message.
I kept throwing clothes at him on purpose. That one guy in the golf jacket that kept circling me.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to put me in his cart. I'm just saying.
Well, there's a good tip. If you're at the bins and you're out with the new ones that just come out and everybody's going crazy and somebody's getting all up in your table, just keep throwing your stuff on top of what they have already gone through. They'll get the message. And if they ask anything, just look at them and don't even say anything. It's a good trick. Yeah, so just take whatever you don't want. Just keep throwing it on top of wherever they're looking. There you go. Problem solved. And what are they going to do? Accuse you of assault with a T-shirt?
With a deadly T-shirt.
Exactly.
That one girl at the end, I felt for her because she's like, "Oh, do you have a son? Here, you can have this little shirt." And it was very sweet. She was a sign that humanity still exists, even at the bins.
Yeah. Somebody asked how many items were the 40 pounds. It was 35?
35.
35. Mm-hmm. So, and remember, guys, we get jeans. Jeans are heavy. I mean, virtually all jeans weigh a pound or more. The really small women's jeans don't, but almost all men's jeans do. And a lot of women's jeans do too. So to get 35 items at 39 pounds was pretty good.
And we did get a wide variety. It just wasn't jeans.
Right. It was actually only half jeans.
Right. We got a lot of new with tag stuff.
Yep. We literally, I think we only got 16 pair of jeans, right?
Yeah.
And everything else. So what is that? 19 of the items were other things, more than half. So that's
no jeans. Can you imagine that?
I know, right? Go figure.
And we didn't even somebody asked about seeing the Profmobile. We didn't even take the Profmobile. We took the clown car. That would be my car.
Yeah, it's smaller, gets better gas mileage. I mean, the Prof van, if you've watched any of my videos from back over the summer and the spring, you can see the van. It's great. I mean, it gets it gets decent gas mileage, but you can hold a lot.
It gets around.
Well, think about it. We put more than half, probably, of all those books in there. That's probably like 1,800 books.
A million books. Yeah.
We put about 1,800
books.
It was not 500,000. We put about 1,800 books in that van, and now it was not happy, and it was dragging, but it does hold a lot.
The tires almost popped. Like,
yeah, it was
no
bad.
joke. It was really bad.
Yeah, it was bad. I think we did screw up one of the tires later.
We did fill up the trunk in the clown car, though.
Yeah, we did. That's the thing about our bins, and maybe yours are the same. So when you go and you buy everything, they give you a big black
body bag,
trash bag. And here's the funny thing, guys. So they gave us these 2 black trash bags, all right? And, they're jet black. You can't see what's in them. There's nothing written on them. They're just like a big, heavy-duty trash bag. So we had those in the trunk. So we get home, and we ate lunch, and these guys came by and were trimming a tree in our front yard. And, we didn't really talk to them because we were kind of busy with what we were doing, but So Car and I both go out to the car and get these 2 big black trash bags, and we're like, like they were full of body parts.
Like he's Dexter.
And they had to be wondering, what in the world are in those trash bags?
Living this serial killer life.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I didn't think about it till I got out there. I was like, these guys probably think these are bodies, because they were really heavy. Not super heavy. They were like 20 pounds a piece, more or less. One was less. But it was just kind of funny. So what else is going on? So yeah, the bins video, we will, I'll probably start editing that tonight or tomorrow and try to get that up midweek. And you guys can see how we did it and so on. We took some footage inside the store.
You took some secret footage too. I saw you over there.
Did I?
Yeah. And this is Karen at the bins.
I did. I took some footage where I'm narrating what she's doing and she can't hear me. That's the best.
That always goes well.
Yeah. So we'll see how that video turns out. I don't know if it'll be any good or not.
Well, for instance, we didn't mention it in the video. Are we going to make more video for that video, or are we done? Because I brought gloves, I didn't wear them. I'm a touchy-feely kind of person, so
yeah.
Luckily, I didn't touchy-feely anything yucky.
Yeah, and wearing gloves at the bins is probably not a bad idea. And not for the reason you think. It's not so much that things are disgusting, which, that can always be the case when you're dealing with used clothes, but more so that sometimes people will pick up something in one part of the store and just drop it in the bin, in a table. And it could be sharp.
Or broken.
Or broken, and it can be underneath something, and you reach under it and cut your hand, or puncture your hand. That's possible. And, it's not probably a horrible idea to wear gloves when you're digging through things and you don't really know what's underneath. No matter how careful you are, you still could get cut.
And the gloves would keep you from gushing blood all over everything.
Right. They would keep all the blood inside the glove so they could just put it back in you.
Yeah.
Because that's how that works.
That's how science. Prof science.
It's prof science. Let's see. So a couple people were saying some stuff here. Lauren said she bought a ton of inventory and couldn't fit it in the Jeep. Should maybe get a bigger car. Yeah, you're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah. Ronnie just got a bigger car.
Ronnie Hart's got a bigger car.
Big old truck.
Secret footage. Yeah.
Can I miss that?
So let's see.
Yeah, Lauren, I'm the same way. I have to, and Chad talks about he has to, he'll walk by a rack and just run his finger along it.
Yeah.
I'm the same way because you can easily pick out a cashmere or a special.
That's a great tip.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's cashmere or silk, suede, leather,
yes. Mm-hmm.
The finer fabrics that tend to cost more, probably worth, if you feel those, you can probably worth picking that item up and seeing what it is. Just in case. We pretty much did brands though, right? Wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. The only thing I was sorry that we left was that Lucky sweater shirt thing. But it had that one little mark. I should have just gotten it for myself.
Yeah.
But there was a really neat Lucky brand women's embroidered sweatshirt, swort. It was a swort thing. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, and they charge at our bins $1.39 a pound. So that gives you an idea. I know some bins in other parts of the country are cheaper, like 99 cents a pound. But, $1.39 is still a good price. I'm guessing from what I figured out with what we got that we're paying about 40% of what we would have paid in a normal store, which is great. That gives you, some more profit margin depending on the item. And you can go a little bit lower with what you would get in terms of, what it'll sell for. So paying 40% of what it normally is, that money just goes right to the bottom line, guys. So there's some value to that. I see the value in that.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Stone is here today, and he's a funny guy.
Abraham says, have you ever used a black light when looking for jeans to help find some defect?
We have not, but we've talked about it. You can get them on eBay pretty cheap. Little battery-operated, for lack of better, strip light. I know that's not what you call it, but it's just a little handheld. I want to try it. So probably next year we'll bring one and it'll kind of highlight, because in this particular store, the lighting was incredible.
It was great.
Was so bright.
Much better than the old one.
Right. Oh yeah. Everything was better than the old one. But in a lot of our stores, the fluorescent lighting is not good to the extent that we'll be in one section of jeans and it's almost dark. So that's not good. So I think we're going to give I think the ultraviolet light is a great idea.
Because you might be shocked what you see that normally you would not see and think is fine. So then you have an interesting decision to make.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, body fluids fluoresce, for example. I don't know if you want to know that. Different things, stains will fluoresce, different colors. So I think it's definitely worth a try. We're going to do it, and we'll let you know. We won't probably do a whole show on it, but it's a great idea.
Outdoor Wrangler asks, why don't you use mannequins for jeans? Too much trouble.
And then you'd have the same butt in the same jeans. Like there are some people out there that use that. Remember what I come upon it all the time, and I'm like, oh, that's the same butt. How do they do that? Because it's this weird mannequin thing.
Yeah.
And you can't. We like to be consistent, and we take the same kinds of shots with everything. And we get men's and women's jeans.
Right.
So the mannequin, we'd have to have a man mannequin and a woman mannequin.
Yeah, and then you're having to pin. You would use a smaller one, obviously, and then you'd pin things in, or clip them together so that they wouldn't fall off, and it would look, like it actually fitted. But I don't know. It just is an extra step. I'm not saying it's a horrible idea, but I don't know if it really adds much.
Yeah, and for us, it kind of distorts the true look of the jean too, because like you said, like with some shirts that are too big for the body parts that we do have, you want to kind of pull them back, and we don't like to do that. So.
Right. Michael asked a technical question here. Have you ever shipped out something and the post office does not update the tracking number? Yes, Michael, that has happened, and you just need to contact your post office.
Well, cross your fingers that they got delivered, because sometimes, and it's unlikely, but sometimes the post office won't scan it on intake.
Right.
Or sometimes they won't scan it upon delivery.
Right.
So there's a chance that the package, in this case, I'd say contact your post office for sure, because it wasn't scanned either before or upon delivery, there's a chance it's still sitting somewhere. So I would look into that.
Yeah. And guys, the post office, it's not a perfect science. Like I get returns, obviously I'm a clothing reseller, so I'm going to get returns. It's very often, probably almost once a week it happens, that I will get a return that in eBay system and the tracking, it says it's still in process. And I've had it for a day, sometimes 2 days, and it's not updated that it's gotten delivered to me. And I'll go ahead and, of course, do the refund. But that happens more than you'd think. I don't know why. I don't know. It's just laziness on their part, or the system takes a lot of update. Who knows? But, you just got to deal with it on a case-by-case business. And it's really annoying, but it's just the cost of doing business. So let's see.
Somebody's from Switzerland.
Where? I have no idea what you're saying.
Bela Malnasi. Hi, Americans. Your videos are great. Greetings from, and I appreciate the pronunciation, Switzerland. See right there? I'm looking right there with the little smiley face. See? Hi. Well, hi, Bela. Welcome.
Nice. Oh, I see now. I couldn't see it on mine for a moment. Let's see. What else is here? Lots of other questions here. Other people saying they don't use mannequins because it slows you down. I agree, especially on bread and butter jeans. I mean, if you want to use on something a little more expensive, maybe, but even there, I don't know. Do you wash all your inventory? No.
Hardly ever. If I think it'll improve it, or if I think I can get a stain out.
Yeah.
Especially with some crotch issues every now and then. But we don't want to have to do too much extra work. Like we don't iron them, we don't wash them. We might dry erase one every now and then for a little something. Get curtain climber crud off the bottoms, because it gets foody stuff stuck on it.
Yeah, I mean, washing it to me, guys, is a huge undertaking, and it spends your time and energy and your water and your power and your detergent and all that. And then you got to dry it. I mean, it's just, man, it's a lot of extra steps if you ask me. And I don't think one buyer in 100 cares. as long as you buy something on the front end that's clean and you don't list something that's dirty, which you're not really supposed to do anyway, but I think you'll be fine. The vast majority of people who buy something, used clothing, expect to have to wash it. That's kind of a reasonable expectation. I wouldn't care what the seller told me. Oh, you washed it? Doesn't matter. I'm washing it before I put it on. And I think most people feel the same way, especially with, most clothing items, which are, touching you somewhere that's maybe a little more intimate, like anywhere but your head or your feet, you're pretty much going to wash it or your hands. You might not wash a hat, obviously, or well, I guess you probably you wouldn't know to wash shoes, but you'd wash socks. Selling used socks. There's an interesting idea. What else is going on here?
Transylvania. That's where Bella is from.
Transylvania. Oh, cool. Nice. I think Prof is far up in the chat. Sorry. Okay. No, I'm caught up now. I just had to get down to the bottom. All right. So 56 people watching, guys. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Man, that's a good turnout for a Monday afternoon.
I know. Is everybody just home? No, some of you guys are at work. I know.
Right. So if you guys are really liking the content and so on, I just have one request of you. What is it, Karin?
Smash that like button. Smash it.
There it is. She says it better than anybody.
Oh, hey, we didn't talk about something we bought today.
What?
That the ladies will appreciate. Well, maybe some of the fellas too. But we think we found me a pair of apple bottom jeans with the fur, and I know it's boots with the fur. The funny thing is I sang it correctly for the first time on purpose ever because I had my boots. Oh, you guys don't know I bought boots. Let me see, can I do this? I got boots. See, I got boots. That's my boots.
There you go.
She
bought boots.
But in the moment, I think I have found the Holy Grail. I think I found myself some apple bottom jeans.
Who found them?
You found them.
There we go. I look for her for apple bottom jeans every day that we go outsourcing.
And so now I'm going to have to put up.
And I never find the ones that like fit her. I always find the size too small, size too big, but these we think will fit her.
Yes, we do. So more on that at a later date.
Yes, and they're pretty cool ones too.
Yeah, and we actually picked up another couple pair because we never ever see them. And they're not a bad brand, but they were mint. I mean, they're in great shape, and they have the apple butts and everything. So
yeah,
more on my apple bottom personal jean odyssey at a later date.
It's all about. That's the only reason I got into reselling was to find you apple bottom jeans.
Aw, so now you can retire.
Yeah, we'll just figure out that money thing, and I'll be right on that. So,
yeah.
All right. Well. One thing I want to talk about today, guys, the topic of the show is evolution of an eBay reseller. And I just realized I need "and" in there technically to be grammatically correct, right?
The evolution
of an eBay seller, a eBay seller. I don't know. Does anybody know? Grammar police, weigh in. Should it be an eBay seller or a eBay seller? I think it should be an. But
well, because it's a reseller. eBay is the adjective.
Yeah.
To what kind of reseller you are.
Right.
Saying.
So the evolution of a reseller. All right. So I don't know what position in I don't know where you all are in you all. We say that here in the South. We say you alls. Sorry, I just went very Southern there. Isn't that funny? I can do that accent when I need it.
Please don't do that ever. Again.
Yeah, that's about to hit on the feed, so now they're gonna laugh. All right, so and what you said to me, not what I said. But I don't know where everybody is in terms of your evolution of being a reseller. But today, I went to the bins, somewhere that I've despised and not been a fan of in the past for various reasons, which I've explained on here a million times. And, I realized today when I was thinking about it that I can't really ever say I'm never going to go to the bins anymore. I'm never going to go and source the bins because of X, Y, Z. Because when I do that, I am keeping myself from finding some really great opportunities that might be there, because no matter what you do in this business, no matter how you source or how you list or how you photograph or how you run your business, things change. Platforms change, the rules change, the market changes, your product availability changes, the standards that people, use change, all of it changes. So I was thinking about that today, and I thought, I can't really pigeonhole myself into this spot where I say I will never do something because of whatever. That doesn't make sense.
No.
That doesn't make sense.
And we've talked about from the beginning that what if jeans perish from the earth and you have to sell? Or what if eBay stops letting people sell things? Or what if Amazon changes who can sell what brands? I mean, we've talked a lot about the fact that just by, nature, for lack of better, we're going to have to learn to evolve anyway. So
yeah,
in this instance, this was good. You put yourself out there and it wasn't so bad, was it?
It was kind of bad at first, but then it was okay.
You just got over it.
Yeah, you have to get over it.
Get over it.
And I would say that to everybody watching. You've got to evolve in this business. You've got to be willing to change some things. Now, that doesn't mean everything. And I know there's sometimes you've got to just, stay the course with something until you see how it plays out. But, I'm sitting here thinking about what we just bought today at the bins. We got for 40% of what it would normally cost us. So that's a lot more money in our pocket for no more work, for no more time and work than it would have taken, normally at a regular store. And I thought to myself, well, why am I really avoiding this? It was kind of I didn't like the previous store. It smelled, it was disgusting. The funny thing is this new one is much smaller. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if it's half the size of the last one. No, I don't think it is.
Oh, you mean it's smaller than that? Yeah, well, because the old one had probably twice as many bins, and then it had the entire second room that had the furniture and the hard goods.
Right. It was a much bigger store, so they've actually shrunk the store down. But I realized after we got out of there, I thought, we found some good deals here, and this was a profitable stop. So I can't be so stubborn to say I'm not going to go here and do this because I had a bad experience once, or I just didn't like doing it. I mean, you've got to be able to evolve and grow, or the business can pass you by. Because everybody else is out there evolving and growing just like you. I mean, there were definitely plenty of resellers there today. Mm-hmm. I would say maybe the majority of the people there were resellers, if I had to guess.
And wasn't it interesting that there was still enough to go around? Like nobody was really fighting over stuff.
Right. And right. And I'm not really in competition with them. I'm in competition with myself.
Yeah.
But I guess I would ask you guys, and you can say in the chat or even in the comments afterwards, what are you resisting in terms of evolving in your business? What is holding you back from the next step or the next set of steps because you don't want to change? You don't want to change your approach, your mindset, what you do. And I know some of you are probably going to say nothing, but that's probably not the case. Because if you really examined yourself and examined the way you do things, and it can be little things, it can be big things. Maybe you don't want to learn something new because you think the way you do it is great and it works for you. Well, yeah, it does work for you. But until you learn something new, you don't know if it's better or not. And you may learn it just to find out, no, the way I was doing it was great. That was perfect. That made perfect sense. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, every way that you're doing something right now, like you're doing all these things in your business a certain way, at some point you learned that. At some point, you evolved to doing it that way. And now you may think, well, I'm not going to change now because I'm at the pinnacle of my evolution as a reseller. The second you stop growing is the second you start going backwards. Mm. That's what I realized today too. And I've said that before, but it kind of hit me like this bins example was one more example. It's like I can't decide that I've reached the pinnacle of my reselling evolution and I can't get any better at this. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. That's completely ridiculous. Like nobody nobody is perfect at it. Nobody has every system and process down. And when I see other people who resell, because Karen and I were watching a bunch of, you know what we did last night? And she got it started. We pulled up YouTube on the PlayStation 3 on the TV because we didn't want to look at an iPad into it. And we pulled up Ben's reseller videos.
Mm-hmm.
We watched probably parts or most of 5 or 6 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Because we wanted to get some tips, some tricks. What were they finding? And, we knew a lot of the things that people were saying, but there were little things here and there that we picked up and said, hey, that sounds like a good idea. That's how you evolve. That's how you learn. You have to go in and realize that you don't know everything. And your way, whatever it is, might be a great way, but there might be a better way. A more efficient way, a more cost-effective way, whatever. You write that, you fill in the blank. But I don't know. I think you can't stop learning and growing in this business, or you'll just fail. And you'll find yourself one day, you'll be stuck in this old paradigm that just doesn't work as well as it used to, if at all. And that kind of hit me. I think the shows we were watching last night too. What shows did we watch?
Oh, Dexter.
No, about business.
Oh, the billionaire guy, right? And
yeah.
Profit and Shark Tank and.
Yeah, we watched The Profit last night, which some of you guys probably watch on CNBC, and then Billionaire Buyers Club. I think that's the name of it.
No, that's the one with McConaughey's brother. We weren't watching that.
No. The guy, no, it's not McConaughey's brother. The Billionaire Buyer with Tillman Fertitta.
Yeah, it's not the Buyers Club though.
Oh, whatever.
It's just the one guy.
Anyway, whatever it is. So, and in those shows, I know they're TV shows, but the gist of the shows is that these people are in business and someone else is coming in and telling them ways to improve their business. And Karen, was saying in the one show, the buyer show, the Billionaire Buyer show, hey, well, this guy's got all this information about these companies and he wants to make a deal with them. That's not really fair that he has this info. But at the end of the day, he gave them an order the size of half of their current revenues for a year. One order. And he gave them all these tips and ideas to improve their business. And they got exposure on a national television show. Their brand and their products and their company. They got a great deal. Even if they had to sacrifice a few percentage points. So, those people were brave enough to go on a TV show and open themselves up to scrutiny of their business and looking like idiots on national television because they realized on the back end of it, it could be good for their business. What they learned during the show, if they get an order or not, and then the exposure. So that's a prime example. The one poor guy, I felt bad for him. He was selling these awesome shower drains. These things were amazing. They were custom made, and they were pieces of art. And he was only grossing $200,000 a year, and he had 4 employees, which were half of that. He was spending half of his salary, half of his gross profits every year on salaries, which is a huge number. Mm-hmm. And it ended up, one of his employees ended up leaving and deciding it wasn't for them when he kind of made some tweaks to his business model. And that was best for the employee and best for the business. And it made his business a little more streamlined. And he was able to, be a little bit more nimble and increase his business. So you've got to be willing to change and adapt. I just think too often the reselling community, we get in this mindset of, well, we got to do it like Steve Rakin does it, or we got to do it like Ronnie Hart does it, or we got to do it like Chad does it, or Pete, the Craigslist hunter. That's not true. You can take pieces of all those people and a lot of other people and come up with your own version of it that fits for you, but then just remember to always keep learning. I think that's the key. You've always got to be learning. You've always got to be able to be flexible enough to realize, all right, this is how I'm doing it now, but a week from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, things can change and I'm going to have to evolve. I'm going to have to grow and realize that, the old way may not be the best way anymore. And I think that's just being a smart business person. I hope it is. So anyway.
And you didn't even start out. When I met you, you kind of dabbled in eBay a little bit, right? Is
Yeah.
that Hannah Montana mug yours, or that's the one that I bought? The one that's in the cupboard, the purple one.
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, you did a mug here, a mug there. Oh, look for the Starbucks ones when we're out.
I
mean,
never find them.
No, but you see, even you've evolved, and we were talking about that earlier. How you've evolved a lot over the last, couple of years, and you weren't selling jeans 3 years ago.
Right. Right.
You even kind of went your own way and did some, what do you call it? Recycling and what'd you call it with the electronic stuff?
Yeah, e-waste. Yeah.
E-waste and all that. And now you're in a different place. And now we're kind of at a crossroads where we're deciding, where you're going to go moving forward. So.
Yeah. And, I share with you guys some resolutions and so on for business for the next year. And I have like 7 pages of things that I typed up, on different things that I want to focus on this next year. And guess what? Some of them are radically different directions from what I'm doing right now. Doing completely new things, taking a whole new approach. And that's what you got to do. I mean, I don't understand this mindset that seems to exist in our community where we decide that, I get to a certain level, whatever that level is, and then I'm just at the pinnacle and I know everything and no one can teach me anything and I can no longer evolve. I mean, I learn from all of you guys in the chat, in the comments, in the emails I get. I'm getting ready. I'm going on the I'm going on the Green Room show. I know some of you might be Green Room members, but not all of you are, and that's fine. But I'm going on the Green Room show in a couple hours at 5 o'clock, and there's going to be 2 or 3 other eBay sellers in there. Chris is running a show. Guys, I'm not going there to teach. I'm going there to learn. I mean, I think if you're a good teacher, you have to be a master learner. I mean, I think that's a necessary required ingredient because that's the only way you can teach is if you learn because you don't know everything. And there's plenty of people on eBay who run circles around me in every way possible, and that doesn't bother me. It just reminds me that there's still plenty to learn. There's plenty to find out and explore. And that's exciting to me because if you get to the point where you think you know it all, that gets kind of boring.
Yeah.
I can't function like that where I'm just stuck in one mindset the whole time. And I know some of that frustrates some of you guys because you say, well, Prof, why are you doing this or why are you doing that? And that's why. I've got to evolve. I've got to evolve and keep learning, guys, or my business, my life, my mindset, it'll all become stale and stagnant and it just won't be very meaningful for me. And I'll probably quit doing it if that were the case. So I don't know. It's just something I've really been thinking a lot about over the past few weeks as we go into this new year. And I'm excited about the new year. Yeah,
me too.
I think there's going to be a lot of cool changes and things. We've got a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing different.
Yep.
And, it's pretty exciting. Not I don't even want to call them resolutions. It's more just like, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to smash through 2017. So a good quote from the chat. Here you throw this away. What? I'm sorry if I did that wrong. I just am silly. But says, if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yep.
Yeah. And it speaks to like when you hire people, you should purposefully hire people smarter than you.
Right.
I'm a firm believer in that.
That's exactly right.
When I was hiring people, I felt the same way.
Yeah, if you just hire a bunch of people, and if you hire people who aren't as smart as you, or just tell you, what you want to hear, how are you going to ever grow and evolve? You're not. You actually kind of need some people who will disagree with you, and I mean, there's a way to do it respectfully, obviously, but who can tell you, hey, well, I disagree, and here's why. Here's what my thought process is. That's how you learn. Fortunately, I have somebody who disagrees with me from time to time. So I don't have to.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Somebody would ever dare to disagree with you?
Yeah, somebody. But that's a good thing because if she disagrees with me on something, she thinks about a lot of things in a totally different way than I do. And even if I don't necessarily, move in the direction that she's pointing, which is not very often that I don't do that, I still learn something from her because I'm like, oh, I hadn't even really thought about that, and you force me to do that every day. And I'm really thankful for that. I really am. So you got to have somebody like that doing that. That's another way for you to evolve as a reseller, to have somebody who will tell you, hey, dummy, what you're doing doesn't make any sense, and here's why.
Yeah, you need an Oscar to your Felix for sure.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, well, let me show you a couple of quick results and so on, because I know we've been sharing that and so on. So I'll do a quick screen share. The results from the last few days.
I gotta go get Ben. I'll BRB, everybody.
All right, she'll be back in a little bit. She's got to run an errand, and I'm going to scoot over a little bit. So here is the results from the past few days. Let's see what we got here. Friday was only 181, 8 sold. Saturday was 134, with 6 sold. Sunday was 5 sold for 189. Actually had a pair of Rock Revivals that sold for about 85 or 90 bucks. That's why it's a higher total than Saturday's probably. You can see my net per jean was blown up that day. On the month, $36.98 in jean sales. My listings are down, guys. No excuse here. Just have not been putting in the listing time as of late, and it's showing in my results. So there's a lesson to be learned. The last week and a half, 2 weeks, I have not listed like I was even at the beginning of the month. So it's shown in my results over December. My traffic is down a little bit too to my listings, but it's not enough to where these results should be quite this low. It looks like I'm still going to come in somewhere in the 6,000 plus range for gross this month. We'll see if that holds up. And I don't think the graphs. I probably don't have the graphs quite up to date. Let's see. The net percentage this month is still pretty good at 40%, which I think that's about where jeans should be. My net per jean is still holding at $10 a jean overall, and that's pretty good too. That's where I've always wanted to be, at least around $10 a jean net, and I think I can push that up. So anyway, hope that all made sense. All right. One other thing I'm considering doing, I don't know about you guys, but with the new year, I think there's some new postal increases coming, but I'm probably going to raise my flat rate shipping. I've been charging $6.50 for flat rate shipping, padded flat rate, but I'm probably going to move that up to $7, just to reflect up costs as much as well. Anyway, just. The padded flat rates aren't necessarily costing more, but just, the ongoing cost of doing business, processing things, and so on. Somebody said the live feed is going in and out. Yeah, maybe refresh it, Henry. Sorry if that's happening, but YouTube is. Silver Stacker said, I married a smarter person too. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Karen, since she's not here, I can really talk about her now. No, just kidding. She grounds me in so many ways that I would not be grounded in. And man, that is so critical. I mean, I know not everybody out there. Somebody was eBaying. Someone's emailing me this week or making comments on the channel about their family situation. Their family didn't support them reselling. I don't know what that's like because I've never been in that situation, guys. But I can say that having that support of the people around you is critically important. And my mom will she'll make a joke every once in a while saying, oh, we paid for you guys, if you go to college, you could sell jeans. She'll say something like that, but she's not disappointed or not, not proud of me. It's just your parents always have one particular perspective on what they think you'll do with your life and your education. And you're never going to 100% fulfill whatever that path is in their eyes. There's no point even trying. So, you can always, you got to go your own path. But man, it is critically important you find somebody in your life, a friend, a family member, your spouse, a child even, that can support you in this business, guys. I think that's critically important. I'm not saying you can't do it without that, but man, if you have that, it can just give you an emotional and mental grounding and support that there's just nothing, you can't put a price on that. So if you have somebody like that in your life, or could be somebody like that in your life, cultivate that relationship, explain them how your business works and what you're doing and what your objectives are. And I think it'll pay big dividends. Now, there's always the flip side to that you could explain all those things to them and they poo-poo the idea and just say, that's terrible, that's dumb, I think that's never going to work, blah, blah, blah. That's a risk you run when you do that. But, my experience has been this: when someone knocks you for your dreams and puts down your way of achieving your goals in life, it's usually because they're not very happy with their own path, whatever it is. I mean, it's rare that someone is going to attack you personally and it doesn't come from a place of they're hurting themselves. They may not like your ideas, but if they start attacking you personally, saying, hey, you're an idiot for thinking that, chances are they're not really happy with who they are. So I kind of let that stuff roll off my back after a while. It doesn't happen very often, fortunately. If you have a YouTube channel, guys, you're going to have your haters. And there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to accept them. Okay, so there was another question or two here. Have you looked into incorporating pivot tables and a dashboard? Yeah, I have. More on that another time. That's a long story. Watched the movie War Dogs last night. Talked about getting you pumped up to do some reselling. Nice, Al. Check that out. Show them your top sales. People are blown away. Yeah, and sometimes you can do that, Chicago. But, man, when you do that, you're kind of getting in a comparison game because, say you got a brother or a sister and you show your parents, we'll just say for sake of argument, look, Mom, I made $15,000 this month on eBay. Oh, well, that's nice. Your sister and her husband just bought this $500,000 house. And you just get in this weird game of trying to one up somebody else. And you're never going to win that game. And you're not going to win that game in somebody else's eyes. I mean, I don't know. I just think that if your loved ones support you, they're going to support you whether you're successful or not. They're going to support you whether you're making X number of dollars or Y number of dollars. They're just going to support you. It doesn't come at a certain threshold. Oh, well, when he makes this much, I'll be a believer in him. Nope, that's not the way it works. They either believe in you or they don't believe in you or believe in a certain goal. And you just got to explain that to them. Say, look, this is going to take time and I have a timetable and what I'm trying to do. And I might not get the results in the way or the manner or the amount that you think is appropriate, but it's my life. It's not up to you to decide that. It's up to me. I think that's the conversation you have with someone in that case, and they either accept it or they don't. Anyway. Oh, something we forgot to tell you guys. Something else exciting is happening this coming week, and I hope you guys are excited about it. I'm excited about it. I had someone reach out to me on Facebook, and they told me they are a reseller who lives fairly close to me in Caron, and they also run a store, which is pretty cool. They run a consignment store. I don't want to say who it was right now because I'm not sure if they want their name and everything out there quite yet, but I'm assuming they will because they run a pretty good size warehouse. They have this is someone who's been an eBay reseller for over 15 years. So definitely an experienced seller. They have thousands of listings up, and they run a physical brick and mortar store. They invited Karin and I to come check out this store, spend a day, learn their processes, how they inventory things, how they run their business. They have a 2,000, 3,000 square foot building. I mean, it's good size. And we are going on Wednesday to check that out. They have also agreed to allow us to film this and shoot a video. So we're going to be shooting a video and showing you this store, how someone with, I've looked them up on eBay, someone with thousands of listings and does quite a bit in sales, how they do it. So this is going to be a great chance, guys, for us and for you guys to see how somebody does on this level. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about learning. Krillin, that's where they sell. Looks like clothing. But we'll talk about that. I think they're doing consignments. They might be consigning some other hard goods too, but mainly clothing, it looks like. And I've seen some pictures and so on. We'll get a chance. They barcode their items, which is really cool. You talk about keeping track of things, like everything that comes in is barcoded. So they have a system for that. I'll be curious to see how that's set up. And they've also agreed, keep your fingers crossed, to come on the Revenue Wrap Show one Monday night, and we'll have an interview and we'll take questions, guys, and you'll get to see how this person does it with a brick and mortar store and a huge eBay store to boot, as well as someone who has a lot of experience around being an eBay seller. So I'm really curious to see all the systems they have in place, what their inventory system looks like, how their store is set up, how they handle items, like the life of the item, like when it comes into their building and then when it leaves. What does that look like from start to finish? I'm really curious, and you guys get to come along. I'm going to take video. We're going to ask questions, and we're going to share all that with you guys. And then we will have a separate show where we will do an interview with this person, and you guys can come on, ask them whatever you want, and just see how somebody does it. With they blended, from what I've seen, they blended the best of both worlds. They blended a store and an eBay store together, and we'll get more into that. But I think that's what they've done. I think it's going to be really cool. I saw a video like that Rakin did with a bookseller up in Ohio. I want to say his name is Greg Murphy, but I might be wrong. And this guy does like over $1 million a year in books. But he also runs a store out of his warehouse. He employs his family. He has tens of thousands of listings on Amazon. I'm like, man, that's like the best of all worlds. Like, you're blending it all together. So even if one part is struggling, you still got another part that can still pick up the slack. And I'm hopeful that this will be a similar, although on a smaller scale, but a similar type of experience to go see. I can't wait to see it. I think it'll be really cool. Hopefully it'll turn out well. And, we'll give you a heads up on that. I'll try to get that video done and up before Christmas, but no guarantees, guys, because we're not going till Wednesday. So it's like, and we're traveling. I've got something to do all day Friday. I'm traveling Saturday. I don't know if I'll get it done in time, but I'll definitely get it done by the next week. Oh, you're going to go to all barcodes now. No, but I'm curious to see how they do it, because this person has up about as many listings as I could put up. So I'm curious how they do it. How do you have up thousands of listings and keep track of them? It's a real logistical challenge. I mean, I haven't even shared with you guys everything I learned from my inventory, but I can tell you, man, I had some real issues. eBay, oh my gosh, I can't believe some of the issues I had. And like they've relisted items that I've already sold, and there's no way I relisted them, and this has happened on more than one occasion. I had some things in the wrong place. I had some things that I thought were listed that really weren't. I had some things that were in my inventory locations that were not listed. Oh, so to do that with even thousands of listings, to do it with hundreds of listings is tough enough. Do it with thousands? Oof. So no. And no, it is not Pete. Pete does not live anywhere near me. Pete lives in Chicago. I live in North Carolina. And Pete is probably freezing his ass off in Chicago right now in that area from what I've seen, and he can have it. Let's see. I've talked to consignment stores and asked if they do eBay, and they don't. Yeah, Monica, I'm really curious to see how this seller does it. And how do you, if you consign something and you put it on eBay, there are ways to do it with your system, but how do you handle it that when you sell it in your store, you take down the listing, or you sell it in your eBay store and you have a way to go pull it out of your store? I mean, you have to have a process for that, because you could end up selling it twice. If it's sitting in your store and you've just sold it on eBay, you can't sell it in your store then, but suppose someone's got it in their hand, So, I mean, there's some real logistical challenges there, and I'm curious how they handle all that. I want to see if how that works. Not that I'm thinking of doing that. I don't really like the consignment model, but going back to the topic of the show, guys, I'm willing to learn something. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn what it's like and what it encompasses, because I think that's just being a smart reseller. That's part of my evolution, right? I'm really excited to see how this person manages thousands of listings and a brick and mortar store, and dealing with customers coming in to buy, as well as bringing in items to consign. Man, that's like 2 or 3 business models together. It's like you're running consignment, you're running retail, and you're running an e-commerce store all at the same time. So that's a lot of irons in the fire. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. And you'll go through your inventory going nuts. Yeah, Dan, man, don't get me started on inventory. I mean, I finished it on the jeans and it was a pain in the butt. I mean, it didn't really take that long, but I ended up having to compare what eBay said I had listed versus what my spreadsheet said, and there were discrepancies. Some of them were back further when my system was a little different and not quite as robust as it is now. So I'm hopeful that maybe now it's a little better at finding that, but man, it happens. Let's see what other questions there were. Somebody else had a question. I wonder if they use the same software that you can buy to pull things off eBay, Poshmark, and yeah, good question, Sarah. I don't know. I'm definitely really interested to find out the answer to that question. If they have something in their store and it's listed online at the same time, and maybe they don't do that, but that kind of doesn't make sense if they don't. Like, why wouldn't you want to have exposure to it in both areas? That sort of makes, I know there's people who will sell things on Amazon and eBay at the same time, and there's ways for the system to update. Like some of the third-party software can update when you sell it in one of those, you can't sell it, takes out of inventory in the other one. But how do you do it at the physical store? It seems like you would need a software solution. And maybe, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to have. I'm really curious. Are you going to post a show for the green room that you're going to be on? Henry asked. Henry, that's not up to me. Chris, the Bonafide Hustler, is the one who is hosting the show. And as far as I know, it's for green room members only. I don't have any control over that. It's his show. It's going to be on his channel. It's not going to be on my channel. So I don't have any way to post the show. So sorry about that. But as you guys know, the green room is a paid group, and they do put out a lot of free content, but they also have some content that's only available to the members as well. And that's probably what they're going to do, Henry, but I just don't know. -11 in Chicago. Good grief. You guys can have it, man. I'll keep the South. I will not get a new numbering system. Sorry, I'm just catching some of these. How much is the green room? How do we get access? Yeah, you can go to greenroomuniversity.com, Wicked Picker. First of all, I am a member of the Green Room, full disclosure. I do not get any sort of kickback or affiliate link or anything. If you go and sign up for them, I don't have a vested interest, a financial interest in you becoming a Green Room member. Do I think there's some value there and some of the people? Yeah, because, I've connected with people like Jason Clark, Steve Rakin, who, we've collaborated on a couple shows and so on, that have brought me great value. But it's not for everybody. And, paid groups are sometimes a topic of controversy in the community. So if that's not your thing and you don't want to pay to be in part of a group, it's a smaller group. I think it has gone up to about 900 people though now. It's gotten a little bit bigger over the last year, but I find value in it. Would you find value in it? It depends. It's a great bunch of people there, and it does tend to be more tightly monitored. They do put out content and provide content that's only available to members. But again, I don't have a vested interest in it. So if you join them, don't join them, it doesn't affect me one way or the other, just so you know. Just want everybody to be clear on that. Several software package, everybody's saying. So yeah. So lots of different ways that maybe they can handle this this issue of how do you sell something in one place and then take it out of inventory in the other place. So hello.
Hi, I'm back.
People are here. Karen's back.
You can take my seat.
Oh yeah. Karen's back. Hey, you got a package? Is that for me?
Yeah.
It is not.
This one's for me.
Oh. She's got a package, but it's not for me.
Nope.
It's not all about me.
It is not.
Anything else?
Here, you can sell your house.
Oh, great. Real estate thing. Oh, that's actually important. So, all right.
One return. Here you go. What did I miss?
And a return, guys.
And a Christmas card.
Feels like
Jeans.
Hey, they even wrapped it in nice kind of festive paper. You know, that's kind of nice. But anyway.
It might be a hippopotamus.
It might be.
As you were, continue.
Okay, so I think that's about it. Did you have anything else you want to add? Were you listening in the car or no?
No, you brought up our Wednesday excursion, right?
Yes.
And that's exciting.
Yes.
And we're going to kind of see how the ins and outs are with that.
Yes. I think we're going to learn a lot of things from that.
I think so too.
And you guys get to come along. I think I'm going to try to talk Karen and shooting some video too. So we'll have two different perspectives and maybe different questions and so on.
I don't know. Once you go there, you might not go back. I'm quite the videographer. Phonio videographer.
Right.
Because it would be via iPhone, let's be clear.
Yeah, it was right. That's how we usually take videos, the iPhone. So, but like I said, guys, that video, look for it next week. Honestly, I just don't know that I'm going to be able to get it edited and put up in time. And then we'll try to do a interview with the owner of that store and that warehouse and that eBay store probably right after the first of the year. And Karen is going to be on a show too, I hear.
I am. Although you've been like my bookie, my agent, lining all that up, huh?
Hey, I'm just the go-between.
Yeah, apparently January 4th.
Yes.
It's going to be the girl show.
Yes.
But it actually has a real title. And
yes. Yvonne was on here, but I don't know if she...
Oh, because Yvonne could plug it the best, but yeah. We're going to do a girl show. And it's the supportive ladies of reselling or something. I don't know.
It's a terrible name if that's it.
but that's what you told me the gist of it was.
Yeah.
Just a couple of gals getting together, talk about what really happened.
Yes, and we will give a plug for that, not only because you're on it, but Yvonne's definitely a friend of the show, and she was on here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. And oh, that's not good.
Yeah, somebody said it was coming in and out.
And Yvonne has been here since close to the beginning of this show, and she's going to be doing a show with the significant others of resellers. And I don't know who all our guests are going to be. That might be a surprise. But Karen is slated to be one of those. I think we can safely say that. And I will give you guys an update on when that's coming out so you can see it. Yeah, it looks like our feed is having an issue here.
Yeah, I think Henry said something earlier. It just went away again.
Yeah, it's like it's dying. Well, listen, guys, I think our feed.
On that note.
Yeah, it looks like our feed is having. Our feed is trying to die here, so we should probably. There's Yvonne talking about it. There you go. So our feed is probably dying here, so we probably should wrap this show up. I don't know why.
Somebody's trying to tell us something, and Yvonne's there. She's going to do an interview with people who follow their spouse, significant others into reselling. And it is going to be so good.
Yeah, and that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it, Yvonne. I'm going to make my schedule around it. I promise I won't travel. But you know, if I did, I would, of course, do it from wherever I am in my hotel with my Mac. But I'm there. Count me in, girl.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, listen, I think that's going to do it for today, unless you got anything else to add.
No, I mean, I think that was a pretty full show. We talked bins, we talked boots, we talked bottoms.
Bins, boots, and bottoms.
Yes.
You just like alliteration, don't you?
Bins and boots and bottoms.
That was very good.
I even
See what I
sang
did
a little
there?
bit. I did see what you did there. You know I'm a sucker for alliteration.
All right, guys. Well, listen, if you enjoyed this show, please leave me a comment down below. And what else, Karen, should they do?
If they like it, they should smash that like button.
Yep, smash the like button. And consider subscribing to Prof Sales so you get every video when it comes out. You don't have to go searching for it, which is so annoying.
And you can do that little alarm bell thingy, and it'll send you reminders.
Yeah. That's always on there. It's always an option, and then you don't have to wait. I only gave you about an hour preview today because we didn't know what time we were going to get back from sourcing. So I didn't want to say 2 o'clock and we couldn't make it. So that's why it was a little bit later. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it.
I think so. It was a great show.
It was good. You guys are great as always. You always bring the heat with the questions and the comments in the chat feed, and hopefully you will in the comments and questions afterwards. So we will be back soon with a show. We're going to be shooting video Wednesday. And we will just kind of see how it goes. Maybe we'll give you a sneak preview on a Wednesday show later that afternoon.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh, yeah, you better watch. Maybe a sneak preview. Maybe you'll see like an iPhone screenshot of some video. So
what? That would be like a cheesy preview. So right here in this little screen is what we did today.
yeah, this little, you can see right here, this little tiny dot. Well, that's a mountain. And anyway.
Oh, Zerk, Eastern Standard Time. So we usually start around 2.
Yeah.
Today was a little later, but it's EST.
Yeah, so 11 o'clock Pacific time. But today it was 12 o'clock Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for now. And we will catch you guys in just a couple days, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I hope you have a great rest of your Monday afternoon.
Somewhere in the background, it's Gypsy Earl and Vince.
Yes. And I am Prof Sales.
And I am Karen saying,
Good sales to you.